Wind in the Pines by Irena Freeman, illustrated by Robert Schuster. It is winter in the North Woods. Throughout the woods, the ground is covered with snow. The trees are bare. Everything is still. The only things that look alive are the pine trees. They are the only green things you can see in the winter forest. Pine trees are conifers. Conifers are different from other kinds of trees because they have cones. There are many types of conifers. Some are small and grow to only 5 feet. Some are huge, like the giant redwoods of California. Some grow in hot, tropical places. Others grow in very cold places. Conifers can be many different sizes. Scotch pine, eastern white pine, redwood. Cones are different from the seeds or nuts other plants have. Each pine tree has 2 types of cones. A tree needs both kinds to get new trees started. These pine cones are from 3 different trees: eastern white pine, redwood, and Virginia pine. Pine trees have hard cones and soft cones. The hard cones grow at the top of the tree. When they get bigger, they grow hard, woody scales. Between these scales is a place for a tiny pine seed to grow. The soft cones are smaller than the hard cones. They grow lower on the tree. The soft cones make pollen in spring. When the pollen is ready, the wind blows bits of it away. Then the soft cones die and fall off the tree. Soft cone, hard cone. Hard cones may live on a tree for years. If some pollen lands between the scales, the cone can finally begin to make a seed. The seed does not fall to the ground right away. Many years may pass. Some cones are very tight. The seeds stay inside their coverings. Some pines do not let go of their seeds until heat from a fire opens them. The pine cone protects the seed from the heat. This helps pines come back after a forest fire. A forest fire has burned the woods. Pine trees may grow back first. Tiny pine trees start to grow from the seeds on the ground, but it is hard for new pine trees to grow up. Other plants may cut off the light they need to grow. They may be in dirt that does not allow them to absorb enough food. Animals may kill them. Rabbits and deers like to eat pine bark and buds. If a new pine can live long enough, it may grow up to become a big, beautiful tree. Deer and rabbits like to eat small pine trees. Each spring, pines send up new shoots. These shoots are called candles. If the weather the year before was good, there will be many new candles. If the weather was too cold or too dry, there will not be as many candles. Candles. Leaves. Pine needles. New pine branches and their needles grow from the buds at the end of the candles. Needles may not seem like leaves, but they are very thin leaves that look like green spines. Needles do the same things for pines that leaves do for other trees. They store sunlight and turn it into food for the tree. In the fall, many trees lose their leaves. Pine trees do too. They do not lose all of their needles, but some needles turn brown and fall off every year. But pine needles do not rot and dissolve into the ground like leaves. If you look under a pine tree, you may find many old, dry clumps of needles. Soon the brown needles will fall off this pine tree. Pine trees have many enemies. Diseases sometimes attack pines. Insects can kill a whole forest of pine trees. They eat the buds, and then the trees cannot grow. Animals may gnaw off bark and kill the tree. Fire is an enemy of pine trees, too. Because pine trees are made of soft wood, they burn easily in dry weather. This brown pine tree is not healthy. People use pine trees for many things. Wood from pine trees is used for building homes and furniture. Pine needles can be made into pine oil. Some kinds of pine trees are used to make paper. Certain types of pines even make seeds you can eat. How many things can you see that are made from pine trees? Many people think pine trees are beautiful. People who live in cold places often plant a row of pines near their house to block the winter wind. In the middle of winter, it is nice to walk through the green passages. If you ever get a chance to visit a pine forest, stand still and listen. You will hear the song of the wind in the pines.